Hello. I'm up on the rooftop of Fractal and I'm just gonna ramble about this curriculum. I wanna do a class of sorts, and someone recently, my friend Tashin actually had me reframe writing into this idea of building my corpus. And I really like that frame because it does give it a lot more meaning and weight, and it resonates with me. It feels like I'm writing my manifesto in some ways, or like my philosophy or the way I see things, and then sharing that with the world. So yeah, I'm just gonna give a spiel about what that would involve, because I think it's kind of vague and hard to articulate, and the more I do so, the better, the more clear it becomes for myself. So it's basically a toolkit for my younger self. I think everyone is basically trying to bring things that would help their younger selves in a sense, and so am I. So the first part is about having the mindset of experimentation, curiosity. That's where it all begins. Being able to get lost and have fun and fuck around and see what you get into. So this is sort of like the art of fucking around, and how do you let go of your perfectionism and allow yourself to just wander through the world like a child. And there's things around that I've talked about in the past, including pat yourself on the back when anything good happens, and pretend you're just totally alone in this world. You're some little weird creature in the bottom of some hole, and you're just skittering around, and literally no one is looking at you or cares. You are living under a rock in a sense. So yeah, I think I have more to develop in just this. What is it like to experiment? What is it like to have faith in your ability to experiment and not die? What is it like to have faith in your ability to learn, so that over time, as you fuck around, you get better at it and learn consistently. And then the next chapter would be around establishing a good relationship with yourself. And so for me, this was very much internal family systems, IFS, somatic IFS, and mapping my parts and getting to a place where I have good relationships with all of my parts, and all my parts have developed trust with the other parts within me, and that overall the system inside of me is the social fabric is strong and cohesive inside of myself. And people can get to this through different ways. It's not just IFS. So I would provide this whole platter of self-healing modalities. Maybe you're into meditation or existential kink or other things besides IFS. But having the tools at your disposal to pick and choose and be maybe I'm into DMT, not DMT, DBT or CBT, all these other frameworks that are available. The next chapter would be around making friends. So this for me involved a lot of going online, but also I would get into how I see my friends. So I have a few vlogs on this too, but it's about making friends who care about you. That's really important, and seeing your friends as whole humans instead of just tools or buddies. And yeah, how do you change your orientation around how you make friends and see people in your life, and the commitment and investment in them. And yeah, then once you make friends who care about you, they're a lot more resilient. And also, if you go online, you can find more interests as you. And they also have this whole spiel on like introducing your friends to one another, and then you can start to make little groups of 3 to 4 friends, and this you can also make group chats with those 3 to 4 friends, and all of this just starts to like compound, like starts to like grow upon one another. So it's like a sequential chapter for sure. And after that, I think I'm going to get into hosting. So hosting 101, it can kind of go hand in hand with making friends, but it's like, how would you throw a picnic? How would you throw a dinner party? How would you throw like a book club? It could be fun to make it interactive and have people like actually host things during this workshop. And then practice like co-hosting with someone, or practice just, I don't know, like you have to shop for a dinner party, you have to have sometimes you want like a musical playlist, you get used to being like, hey, like thanks for coming over, like being in this hosting role, kind of vibe gauging how people are doing at your gathering, and do they want a drink, or can they be made more comfortable, so on and so forth. And I think the last chapter will be on building a self-reinforcing life. So this is another big talking point of mine, but it would be on like mapping out your life and your hobbies and your social life, and getting like a bird's eye systems view of how you are giving energy and time in your life, and are the things that you're putting your time and energy into giving time and energy back to you and back to different parts of your life, and is that whole system like, do they like each other, and do they have trust in one another, and do they feed into one another? And so when it does, then the like extra energy you get from one activity feeds into another area of your life, and it becomes very easy to actually create this like sustainable sustainable healthy lifestyle for yourself. So I think that's kind of the gist I'm going for, and yeah, I think I'm gonna teach a class on it. We'll see how it goes, but thanks for listening. Bye.